a kingdom from the concrete. Overpower, Prodigy. Yeah, the crown is what I came for. Overpower, Prodigy.
Welcome back to Overpower Prodigy. Today we are going over Ohio Game 3, and we have Chris Rice against Dan MacArthur. We have some awesome decks here. Dan looks like he's bringing his Energy Combat deck. It's very well-rounded. He's got Mina for the negates, Tarzan for the Stop of Teamworks, and Big Venture, Witch bringing Harness, and Big Venture being his anchor of the team, the solo 8, and then he also has Dracula's Armory to get up over, those 8 or the sneaky kill shots, as well as a power pack plan. And Chris Rice has a super offensive build. Looks like they've both drawn. I think Chris is going first because he has a dupe 8. He's got Herc, Big Mob, Headless Horseman, and Mr. Hyde. Very interesting. I like this build. I'm curious what Mr. Hyde is doing for him in the back. I love the all offense, though. Mob and Headless have no defensive cards, so it's on Herc to defend the team. But Chris does have a second 8 ranker, so he always brings unique stuff. Very excited to see how this goes. And with Round Table over Baker, he has the ability to, there's that open your hand, which is still annoying even without Baker. It doesn't take a card, but it gives you tons of information, and it's a pain to deal with on the other side. But Chris will be able to place those any heroes on Round Table. So he picked Mob as he drew his event, +2. You can pick a character, +2 to all actions, and then -4 to cumulative. So he picked the Mob because now instead of 30 hit points, they have 26. So it's kind of irrelevant against them. And they now have a +2 to all actions. So I'm thinking he has an attack or 2 in his hand for them. There's an ally, attack number 1. Dan's got the Mina 7, his Isis, Tarzan Stop a Teamwork, an ally, and an 8. Chris draws the Headless Horseman 6 energy that can be thrown after concession if the target is marked. And then he gets his Gemini. So we're already seeing value out of Round Table, pulling that Gemini in hand 1. Chris only bets 1. He is down a card. Dan has 3 in hand. 4, 5, 6 place. So Chris has 1 left. Dan has 5 placed. 3 in hand. So Dan is up a card. And he bets 2. Pretty standard wager here. The question is, does Chris want to fight it out? Throw some jabs. He does have 2 allies. No teamwork, so I guess they're kind of even if you count that Tarzan card is not playable this turn. He does go for Mina. Maybe he has the Herc 7 left in his hand. He's got to have something to stop that Mina 7, or it's just going to heal whatever he lands on her. I'm guessing he's got a Herc 7 or maybe a 7 Brute Force in his hand. Plays the Mob. Open your hand. Show me your cards. So immediately and for remainder of game, opponent has to show their cards. And Dan defensively negates it with Amina negate, showing his Freya. So if you don't negate that card, then after Venture, every battle, you have to show your whole hand to your opponent, which is just devastating, until you burn a whole turn instead of attacking, and discard 2 cards to get rid of it. So it's really annoying. It's very, expected to see that negate go through. And Dan's seeing what's across the board now, and he has a Freya, so it's literally impossible for him to be KO'd. Unless he were to block exactly the 6 from Horseman, and then he Geminis and gets it back. Interesting, he spent the 7 to block the 3. Still wants to fight it out. Without fighting a sneeze. Now Dan's got to decide. Freya the 6. Doesn't even think about it. You might want to save it for the 8, but Chris is also fine saving the 8. And he's going to just take Horseman right here. Down goes Horseman, hand 1. Oof. Oof. These guys might be playing a little bit fast here. That is a pretty big deal. I don't know how many cards Chris has for Horseman, but if he's in the deck, he's only seen one of them. He throws the 8. He goes to Gemini. All he can get is the mob card. He can't get Headless, and he can't get the ally. And now Dan says, okay, you can have it. I don't want to deal with the mob card again. You can take the 1 venture. I'll go down 2 venture because I'm up a character. Wow. Hand 1, Bloodbath. Headless is down. That is crazy. But Mina is painted up, so Chris has like almost gotten her down. 2 colors and 11 damage. Dan carrying the advantage of 1 card, this teamwork stopper, into hand 2. So I think Dan's in a pretty comfortable position here. We'll see how many headless cards, if any, Chris draws. 2. And just like that, it's a... Oh, Dan has a dupe 8. Looks like he's drawn all 3 of his 8s in the first 2 hands, bringing him to a total of 8 cards against Chris's 6. So Merlin negate, that's pretty good. He throws it on hide. Probably has 0 or 1 hide cards in his deck, so it's fine to use that slot. Any character 4 making a dish. Dan has his own teamwork, and then we knew about the 8. A 6 on Hercules, that threatens Spectrum, as does the 4 for Mina. Looks like a multi on Tarzan. Can't quite tell what that one is. I think we've seen his 3, so it's a 4 or a 5. Removing the event. Event is gone. I see in Chris's hand he also has a... Yep, 7 brute force power card. He also has the Herc 7, Protector of Mankind. Attack or defend the whole team. Dan pulls his Hades. Can stall the game and get that card advantage even longer now. Or force Chris to burn his 1 only negate in his deck to take down a venture. He throws a 6 down on Mob. Another Mina negate. So with the negate, he does have the ability to protect Mina from both those kill shots. And who knows what else he has in his hand. He's again up 2 cards. Dan venturing out of turn. He lost last round, so Chris should be venturing first. Just feels in control. Feels like he has initiative, even though he doesn't. Oh, he's going to bid 3, 4, 6 for the loss. He bids 4. He's got some cards. And Chris draws his 3 and 4 multi, it looks like. So now all of a sudden, we have a battle. Wagering 4 is kind of crazy, not going to lie. Chris has still yet to venture. He was supposed to venture first. At least he remembers he goes first. So his nebulous venture, he'll probably throw 2 in there. Yep, there he remembers. No, he bets 1, but he's in. 4 make additional. Let's try and take Mina out. Make you spend that negate and show him your bombs. Then it's easy for Chris to play around whatever Dan has. Yep, he has to defensively negate it. Tarzan avoid, Reaper, and a 6. What is happening? Dan bet 4 with a Reaper into a shown Merlin? I am quite confused as to what's happening. Okay, he throws a 6 at Mr. Hyde. Gonna try and blow through Hyde with the 6/6/8 to get rid of Merlin, maybe? Unfortunately, Chris has Protector of Mankind in his hand, so he's gonna stop. He's gonna stop this 6 right here. Or he's not, and he's gonna let them die. Okay. Flips him over. Dan is discarding. Well, no, put it back. Yep, that's all venture this round. Away goes Merlin. Am I crazy? Does he not have the Herc 7 in his hand? I could have sworn I saw it. Why would he let him die? Now you're going to have to take the Reaper. Like, his hand is open. Like, there's no secrets. I'm very confused. Alright, so Dan's up 20-0, but he does know he's going to take Mina out with this next attack. Spend the 3 multi. Sure. Down she goes. It's already seen 3 Mina cards. The 7 and both negates, so I think Dan's fine with that. And now here comes the Reaper. I don't understand what happened this hand. Down goes the 6. He did have the Protector Mankind. Okay, just a little blunder there, I guess. 7, 7, 6, and a 4. So 24 venture, 4 cards ripped away, as well as his ability to take out Witch and win the venture in this hand had it persisted without that. Okay. Yeah, might as well chuck the Herc 6. Start painting Witch up. Dan can't do anything about that. Throws the 5 multi back at Herc. Start damaging him. Okay. Yeah, not quite sure how that happened. Both these guys are playing like super fast. It was kind of crazy for Dan to bet 4 with a Reaper into a Merlin. And it was kind of crazy for Chris to let that 6 hit. But moving on. Dan has an event. It is remove a remainder of game card. So that would be something that deals with the mob open your hand card. But it's gone, so it's kind of an irrelevant event. Just redraws for it. Dan has a dupe 7. Red 7, like that. Means he now has probably another one in his hand red. Maybe he kept the any power for defense. So Witch is likely the target with damage on her already. We have a 2-on-3 battle. Yeah, he does have a red one. Another one for Tarzan. Chris draws his aspect. There's Harness. Can dump all those hits on Billy. Chris in a neutral position venture-wise. Oof, there's that first teamwork, which he's had the Tarzan block for this whole time. Tarzan 7, lockdown. If it hits, the character cannot attack for remainder of battle. And it's off suit. That card is nasty. Throws down a 3, I think that is, on Hercules. Ally to Billy. I think I see another Protector of Mankind in Chris's hand, so that's nice. Places a power card. Low intellect to mob. There's the Protector of Mankind. There's a second teamwork, so at least he has something to push through. It looks like he has his stop a teamwork in his hand, but Dan does not have any teamwork showing. So that's pretty rough for Chris. Dan only bets 1. Chris only bets 1. Gonna trade some jabs, or is somebody gonna run? Dan concedes. Stop a teamwork, which is useless. He already has one on Tarzan. Any hero shift, kind of useless with Harness. I think that's fine. He's giving the initiative back, but Chris only gets 1 mission, and he only loses 1 mission. I think this is fine. Dan has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 placed to 6 placed on Chris's side. So Chris is technically up a card, but I have a feeling there's some Horseman cards coming. 1 Mr. Hyde and 1 Horseman. He does have the lockout for Hyde. And then we have, looks like 2 Mina cards on Dan's side. So fair fight. Interestingly, Chris has a fairy. So if he can get himself in a position like a bid 6 for the win, let someone go, like Herc, and then lock out the other character. Could potentially end the game. And I think that's kind of like his secondary strat, because noticing he plays the hide lockout as well. Maybe he's trying to pull out a late game lockout. Shows him the fairy just in case. So he's probably not going to bid for the win here. Teamwork on Dan's side. But I could be wrong. Maybe he will go 6 here. Another teamwork. Some serious speed if Dan has fuel for the second one. That is one way to beat Harness, is just outventure them. You can shift all the attacks, they're still going to hit. Little baby 2 intellect power card on Billy. Chris just goes a conservative 2. Dan goes 1, but I think he's in. Chris deciding what his opening move is going to be. He decides on the aspect. Open with the aspect, trying to make him spend that harness. Blocks with a 4 energy. Kind of fun, that 4 energy. Playable by everyone but Tarzan. Billy can use it. Mina can use it. And the Grim Reaper. Yeah, I think Chris should have gone 6 here for the win. I think this is his turn. You got the Protector of Mankind for the Tarzan 7. You just blow him out of cards, land a couple, let one of your guys die, lock out the other. And I think it's GG's, but who knows? He may have let Dan draw something like a Tarzan Avoid that he could shift it into, or his Freya or something. He does have that Drax Armory, which will be able to eat one of the 4. I think he called enter combat. 1, 2, 3, and a 4th from hand. So he does protect the 7. 4 cards is pretty rough, though. Pretty rough. Dan still hasn't spent harness. Maybe he can protect that fairy, carry it into next round, where he only has to do a 4 bet for the win. A little lockout action going. I think Chris has a couple of power cards. No idea what's in Dan's hand. He runs. Chris had any character 7, a couple power cards. Chris is swinging this back, and because harness has not been used yet, I think, unless he draws an abysmal hand here, I think a bid 4 for the win might take it down, and then Dan has to be really crafty and split his hits. And there's that last 8, and the Herc Lion Skin Cloak. Draws a dupe of something. And a dead headless. There's another Mina Negate from Dan's side. Ooh, and a dupe Protector of Mankind. So Chris lost 3 cards. That sucks. To Dan's 1. Dan has 6 placed to Chris's 6. So Chris is now down 2 cards. Can he overcome it? Giving Dan 2 cards with a bid 4 for the win is certainly risky. Slaps down a mob 4, make a dish. There's a teamwork for the witch. Chris is locked and loaded. He's like, I have no more slots. Ooh, there's the Merlin. Slapping that bad boy on Billy. That will Stop the lockout shenanigans. It's the last one in Dan's deck with Mina down. I think Herc is still the target, so you're going to get some value out of that lion skin cloak. You got to make him spend harness. Or I guess if he doesn't, it doesn't matter. He just bid 2 for the win next hand. It's really deliberating. Bids 2 from the top. Slow and steady wins the race. And Dan, who won that massive bet 4, has now got himself into a little bit of a venture hole. Bids 1 again. Not feeling super confident, even though he's up 2 cards. Chris with the initiative. Just to throw a 4. Trying to get rid of that Merlin. I guess he doesn't have a ton of stuff to negate. I think he has a Mob 7 in hand also. A 4 at Tarzan. It already has a combat hit on Witch, so I like that. There's the 7. Make him spend the harness. That's honestly probably the best thing Dan can negate if he's going to spend it this hand. Trains up a 4. Love that. Make use of that 3 threat points on your home base, and you still have the... Oh, no, wait. Interesting. He has a Brute Force one, I just noticed, on Drax Armory. That's only playable by Mina, and she's dead. Curious why he doesn't have 2 combats and then 1 energy there. Huh. So Drax Armory is effectively naked now. There's a 3 intellect at the Herkster. Blocks with a 3. Seems fair. Follow-up special, the Herc Snevin. So expend that Protect Your Mankind. Here's the Lion Skin Cloak coming out, I think. Yep. I think that's his 3rd Protect Your Mankind, so he's fine leaving it. He's not going to dupe on it any more than he already has. Teamwork. Oh, he has the Aquaphobic. No universe against Witch. I was like, why didn't he play the Tarzan when he has the Tarzan to stop the other teamwork? No universe cards may be played against Wicked Witch, so the power card follow-up here has to go against either Tarzan or Billy. There's an 8. Boom. Does he have the quick draw? 8 is pretty rough, but it is brute force. Tarzan, if he has a little intellect, like if he had that 2 that's on Billy in his hand, he could just use that inherent and whoop, block that. People forget Tarzan has an inherent ability. Can block any brute force attack, no matter how big, with intellect. He takes it. Tarzan almost dead. Throws his own teamwork back. Is he going to leave that 7 for defense, or is he going to use it as food? Oh, Chris spends the 6. His last card in hand. So Chris is open-handed. Annoying 2 for Herc. And that's yeah, he'll have to spend Protect Your Mankind because the 7's coming across as an 8. You gotta throw it, right? That 7 combat. I think he's debating, but he doesn't want to be down too many place cards next hand. But I think you gotta throw it, and then Herc is 1 color away. He decides not to. Wants to keep it for defense. That's fair. Getting Chris down to 1 guy, where allies and teamworks are not usable. Oh, I guess you don't want him to get down to 1 guy, because then he can just bid for the win and ferry. But you still have your Merlin, so there is counterplay. He does have the Billy 4. Interesting, Oh, I'm dumb. He couldn't have played that earlier. Billy wasn't attacked. It was Tarzan. He does not want to spend the ferry. Dan's trying to make him spend it. Takes it. And now Chris really needs to win Venture, so I think he's going to pass. 6 for the kill. Make him spend the fairy. Now, what's left in Dan's hand? Is he going to... Oh, he Gemini's. Gonna go get something. Tarzan 7. Now he could Merlin off the fairy and force Chris to concede here. Ventures 4 to 12. Oh, wow. He saves the Merlin, and he just decides to paint up mob. Interesting. So, 11 to 12, Chris wins Venture. Harness still not spent. Chris just needs a 2 for the win here, but he is low on resources. He just has 1 teamwork, which can be stopped by Tarzan stop a teamwork, and then Dan has Harness and Merlin. And Herc is on death's door. This is a close one, guys. There's a Freya. We like that. And a bunch of power cards. Another Lion Skin Cloak. He runs 2. Love that. Never expect the second one. Dupe 5. We have an unusable teamwork. Amina only teamwork. So it's fair-ish. Dan's still up 2 cards. Down goes the Freya. Does Chris have enough to push? Ooh, Witch 8. That's a 1. It's a 5 on Tarzan. Another Lion Skin Cloak. Interesting to place that, unless he's going to run here. 2 on the mob. 5 multi on Herc. Don't think Chris likes his hand very much. Who knows what the hell Dan's got. He bids 1, not for the win. Okay, so now Dan is like, I can breathe. But you might have to bet enough to punish if Chris just runs. I guess you have 6 cards placed to his 6, so it's not the end of the world. Good lord, another bet 4. Chris takes 2. Both keepers. Mob special and a low intellect power card. Ruh-roh. Might be a little overzealous, but he does still have Harness to protect his dudes, so... Now, if Chris bets 2 there for the win, I don't think there's a bet 4 happening. Select the slain. Peek at the top 5 of your draw pile. Pick a card. And Dan says, let me think about that. He does spend the Merlin on it. He's like, what else is there to negate? The Herc 9. I guess we haven't seen the Herc 9. And the Mob 7 intellect. But that's about it. I don't know if I like negating it, but I also don't like letting it go through, so I don't really know. We'll find out. A 7 for the kill on Herc. Spends the lion skin cloak. Ooh, there's the Herc 9. He does have it. And Dan has his own fairy. Okay, now I'm seeing why he went 4. Sorry, my dogs are protecting the house from, like people walking down the street. How dare they? 7 brute force coming across at Hercules for the kill. Forces the Freya. Chris might win Venture here, but it's not the game, and he's going to lose Herc. Debating, do I run? Nope, he's going to let Hurt go. Just dump the 5 on him while you can, I guess. Can't attack Tarzan. He has a fairy. Sure, attack the witch. Trade a 6 for a 5, maybe? Yep. Still holding on to that harness. Harness the win. There's no D at the end of that card. Just harnessing victory. Okay, trade a 5 for a... Wait, what? Is that a 4 or a 5? I thought that was a 5. Didn't Chris just throw a 5 multi? Maybe I'm blind? Could have sworn that's the art for a 5. Oh, love that. Don't let it get away. The mob 2 multi punches through the fairy. That's so sick. I don't know why Dan didn't just harness it, but that was a sick play. The angry mob chases the fairy away, but down goes Hercules. The trade, and Dan wins venture just barely. Or no, he moved his mission because Billy 5 got a KO shot. It's kind of wild he didn't even think about playing Harness there to save Tarzan. Because when you get down to 2 characters, all you can do is, I guess, shift to Billy. It's not as good, but guess we'll see. Maybe it was the right call after all.
So, thought something was up with the dogs out. I was like, are you guys supposed to be out?
7 at Wicked Witch, and now he plays Harness. I am confused by that. I don't know why he didn't play it on the 2 to protect Tarzan if he was going to do that. Now he's debating, do I want to save it? I think at this point you kind of got to save it, right? Like, you already let Tarzan die. I thought the whole purpose of that was to carry it one more hand. I don't know what they're discussing, but Chris wins venture. If only he had gone 2 there. It would be GG's. But maybe not, because again, Dan wouldn't have ventured 4 and given him those 2 extra cards, which is kind of huge. So players are discussing something. Still seemed like there was two 5 multis played there, or 2 5s played on Chris's side, but maybe I'm tripping. The players draw the remaining of their... Oh, no. The bottom of Chris's deck, all 3 Hurricane and Headless cards. He's going to draw 5 from the power pack. But all he has to do is win venture. 1 more. And my head is blocking the timer, so I don't know where we're at time-wise. Dan has 1 more Mina. The discard a placed. Tap, cut. Draws 5 more. 5, 6, 3, 8, 3. Could be worse. Just going to have to throw one of them away. Pretty sure Medusa's a 3 energy, right? And then you draw the 3 multi. Oh, 2 dupes. 6 and a 3. Maybe that's my confusion. Maybe Chris was using the Walking Dead 6. And he blocked a 5 with it or something. I don't know. I think Dan discarded 1. Another teamwork. Left for Billy. So nice for him. He still has a combat character and he still has an energy character. So his grids are still okay as long as he keeps 2 dudes up. And placing a whole bunch. And now he realizes, rip, I have an unusable 4. Or maybe that's a 5. I think it's a 4. Billy's like 4, 7, 3, 4. Chris goes 1 for the win, so Dan cannot run away anymore. But he does have that witch 8, which is real nice. Definitely really nice. Chris deciding what to do for his first action. Deliberating. Dan has 2 remaining in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chris runs. He can still bet 2 for the win next hand. Unfortunately, he's still going in down 3 cards because Dan has a teamwork and 2 specials. Gonna have to try and draw a phone book, a full 1 through 8, and Dan gets a bunch of dupes. And make a stand here. Just win venture, maybe a spiritual victory. Oh, I see a lot of duplicates. Or he's just lining them up. 2 dupe 7s and a dupe 5. Dan has 2 dupes, a 4 and a something. 5 maybe? So Chris has 6 cards total, including the 1 placed. Dan will have 10. He's up 4 cards. Unlikely to lose venture here. Man, Chris was so close. Striking distance multiple times. Good back and forth, though. After that crazy hand 1 and hand 2. Dan bets 2. Chris bets 1. Not for the win. But he wants to fight it out. Leading off with the teamwork. Blocks with a 4. I kind of like saving the teamwork because if Chris runs right here, now you're down that card. But, ooh, if it gives a +1, it's a 9. Never mind. I changed my mind. I like that play. Now Mob is 1 color away from certain death. Anything blue or red. Yeah, and he does force the concede. Wow. That was crazy. Mob on death's door. 4, 5, 8. Something. 8. He's got 3 more to draw. Makes it a little easier to commentate when the people have their hands slightly tilted so I can see all the cards in their hand. Can speculate. Whereas Dan's holding them back. Very protected. Need a hand cam. But if Dan draws an 8, and he trades the first 8, then the witch multi will come through and will be unblockable, so... Oh, my Atlanta. 5 freaking discards. How? Dan keeps 3. Maybe this is Chris's hand. Maybe this is his hand. Good God. And he's throwing them into different piles. I don't know why he's discarding a 7 combat, because that is not unusable. Billy can play that. Chris has 4 discards. Both players throwing away more than half their hand. Yeah, not sure what's up with that. Those 7 combat should just be in your power pack there, Dan. Billy can, in fact, play them. Just like that teamwork last hand. A 3 bid. Chris takes a card. It's a keeper. Is Chris going to go 3 for the win? Go for that spiritual W. Probably not, but... Oh, Chris forgot to bid. 8 for an 8. And down goes that special. Now Chris can just run. Which he does. He blocked the 8. So... Probably both playing fast because of the time thing here, and Dan's trying to climb his way back. But I feel like you got to save that Witch 8 until the first 8 is blocked. Because Chris was just able to trade a never-ending 8, which he's going to keep regrowing for that premium special that's not going to come back. I'm guessing Chris has played a lot of Power Pack battles. That was a good block and then snap concede. He has 3 dupes, so with that 1 placed, he's at a total of 6. Dan has 1 discard, 2 discards, 3 discards, 4 discards. Good lord. So it's 6-6, because Harness isn't really a venture card. Now Dan does have to go 3 for the win. He could just do it so that Chris can't concede, and then spend Harness, and nope, he goes 1. Both players are doing crazy with the venture. They're both way up in venture. So Dan bets 1, Chris bets 2. Neither player for the win. And Dan runs. This is a wild game. Now Chris only needs to bet 2 for the win. Can he get a good draw here? I guess we shall find out. Hey, buddy. Oh, hi there. Oh, hi. You want to say hi? You want to help me commentate? You see that? That's Harness the Wind. 1, 2, 3 duplicates on Dan's side. And waiting on Chris to figure out his dupes. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. I think it was... Oh, wow. Does Chris have a phone book? Bids 2 for the win. Dan bids 2 for the euchre. Is that 7 in Chris's hand? Did he rip the phone book? Eight at the witch for the kill. Spend Harness, finally. Move that bad boy to Billy. Uh-oh, that may have been a misplay. 8. Oh no, Mob's still alive because they have all the HP. 30 HP. There's a handshake. Guys, the game's not over. Keep the game's not over. What are you doing? Mob has 30 hit points. It's not over. What are you doing? All right. Well, the players have decided that Dan took the game down. I still think Chris had that because he had card advantage and he was bidding for the win there. So all he has to do is land at least 1 more point of venture than Dan. And he would have the spiritual victory, even if Mob gets KO'd. But yeah, very, very interesting game. Lots of stuff. I'm really sad that Horseman went down hand 1 because I wanted to see him do some stuff. But yeah, that was a crazy battle. I do like both of their decks. Dan's very well rounded, and Chris is just like a brawler, beatdown, aggro, offensive deck with some cool, fun tricks. Yeah, awesome match. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I will see you next time.